Intrepid viewers, so good to see you. Well, I'm here in Sydney and it's the 4th of July here. So I'm a day ahead. So I wanted to connect with you over a bonding moment. So in Australia, we've probably vaccinated 12 people now. Haven't looked lately. We are doing so badly, I cannot begin to describe how the government has dropped the ball. Okay, because Scotty from marketing, our Prime Minister, turned down the Pfizer vaccine and then reluctantly signed on to AstraZeneca and then went back to Pfizer, who laughed in his face. And so we're caught between all this stuff. But meanwhile, back to the American stronghold, land of the free, home of the brave. Who coined that phrase? Who wrote the Star Spangled Banner? I should remember that, but I don't. Okay, so in the meantime, there's been another cyber attack described as a massive cyber attack. So I'm going to have a little look at that. In the good news column, recent polls have shown that more Americans are concerned about all these laws restricting voting. In other words, they're not as concerned about fraud as they are about these new laws. So this could backfire for the GOP. So I'm loving that. Not to mention the beautiful vision of Weiselberg in handcuffs. Bliss. So let's have a quick look first at the cyber attack, which was timed to coincide just before your public holiday because it's harder to get tech crews. Wouldn't any government in the world have cyber people on standby regardless of what day of the week or time of the day? I'm sorry, what? What do you mean? It's a weekend, we can't get hold of the best. I don't understand. Okay, I'll just turn my volume up a little because I had it down low last night. Just a second, this might help you hear me. I hope so. Okay, now, should America be concerned about these cyber attacks? Are there going to be more? Who's behind them? What can we find out about these cyber attacks? Okay. The Fool. Come on down. Cyber attacks, Biden. Oh, what's that? These are actually aimed at destabilizing Biden. Who's the King of Pentacles? Well, I thought it might have been more general. Okay. Okay, I think I get it. This is my Biden card, right? So choices have to be made about how to attack Biden. This is a new group, by the way, the Fool. The King of Pentacles. Now, I don't think this is Russia. I think the last one was Russia, but I don't think this one is. I think this is Mr. Moneybags. I think this is the big GOP donors like the surviving Koch brother and so forth, the Rebecca Mercer. I think it's these ones with filthy money who want to destabilize Biden, and they're continuing to work in the shadows of the hermit. Well, that's my only revelation there. Don't think it's Russia. I do think it's actually. Here you have, talk about terrorism, domestic terrorism. Who are these people? Oh, that's a bit of a shock to me, viewers. Now, we've got, I know what I wanted to do today. Eric Trump went on Fox News and in his way admitted to everything, saying, yes, they're just executive perks that we do, they're normal. Admitting it on camera to millions of people. Truly, if you put all the immediate Trumps in a room, you'd come up with an IQ of 34 between the lot of them. You really would. I can't believe that. So Don Jr., he went on this, you know, delirious rave the other night. He's a billboard for rehab. So I'm going to have a quick look at Don Jr. and then his delightful sister. So let's look at Don Jr. What's going to happen? I mean, maybe his recreational choices might act out before an indictment. So let's just look at the general climate of Don Jr. Won't bother with Eric. We'll go straight to Ivanka after this. Don Jr. Ooh. World, he's at the end of a cycle. Biden, King of Swords, the World, Ace of Pentacles, Fool's Gold. All right. Now, Don Jr., here he is. He's got to the end of a huge major arcana cycle. Now, for normal people, this is about learning your karmic lessons and taking responsibility and coming to a point of understanding and maturity in order to move on to your next karmic cycle. Or you're a rat in a trap on a treadmill here, just going round and round. But in any event, he's coming to the end of being able to play with this sort of behaviour. You know, he's not 22 anymore. That is a problem for him. He's under pressure. Now, this is Biden again. Thanks for turning up, Joe. He's been very obliging today, hasn't he? And the judicial system. The judicial system here. Oh, we've got 2 world cards. That's a bit weird. Okay. So this is the legal stuff chasing him, right? This is the Ace of Pentacles in the form of, it can be a windfall about money, etc., etc., but it can be fool's gold. And if you're talking Trumps, you have to talk about fool's gold. But to answer my question, will his recreational use, I'm trying to be cryptic here, entertainment only, come crashing down soon or not? Will his choices of entertainment do him in? Here we go. Don Jr. Things are moving quickly, and that's both in the legal front and in terms of his own body and mental stability. Things are rocketing along. He still has the support of certain women. Now, that might be Ivanka Trump, the mother of dragons, his mother, herself an immigrant, but let's not go there. Maybe the new Kimberly Guilfoyle, although she might be out of the picture soon, I think, too. You remember her? She's the inflatable girlfriend that did those manic raves. But their support is not enough to keep him out from the cold. So I suspect if I had to put a timeline between now and the fall, like I think it'll play out over summer, and I think we're going to hear the announcement that he's gone into rehab. Now, let's look at Ivanka, who I suspect will be scouting the world for a surrogate, because She thinks it might help keep her out of jail if she pops out another baby or pay someone to. And if that doesn't work, I suppose she'll just take the kids and go to Tel Aviv. But let's see what's coming up immediately for Ivanka and the marriage. I suspect there's a bit of tension in that marriage now as Kushner's trying to cover his own lily white buttocks. Okay. Ivanka. Yes, well, she's gone quiet, hasn't she? Oh, she gets the world card too. So her signifier, main card, she's in hiding. Not surprising, trying to keep a low profile. Her relationship, I think this isn't just Jared, this is all her close relationships in a way, meaning her immediate family is now becoming a burden. It's becoming an uphill push to continue to support the family. She is going to strike out on her own for her own survival. And she too has got the world card, meaning the end of a major cycle. It's the end of them as a family of grifters. Even if nothing else happens from here, the name has been tarnished enough, and all they've got is the name. And as we know, everywhere from Mumbai to Canada and Panama, these have been disastrous global deals, the world card. And we've even seen the glorious sight of the Trump name being prized off buildings because people living in these various things don't want to be associated anymore. So she's not looking at a very rosy scenario here at all. So I'm just going to dip in now. Didn't get much on Jared for that. Can't be bothered looking now, maybe another time. In the meantime, I want to look at Weiselberg's mental health. Okay. I heard this morning that Cohen is suing the federal government for, blackening his reputation or whatever. I don't like that, Michael. I've cut you a lot of slack, and I don't like that. You should be grateful you can walk around town and be on television every night of the week. You don't need another 20 million to prove a point. So unless you're going to give it to charity, I'm very disappointed. Anyone who has a conduit to Michael Cohen can tell him. Auntie Lena's not happy, not impressed. Okay, what was I doing? Weiselberg. How's his mental health? What's his frame of mind? I'll do a 5-carder for him. Alan Weiselberg. Okay, and the change. So I don't know. I think he's a bit delusional, viewers. I think he's more deluded than I thought. Let me break this down for you. In the centre, the card of victory, he actually thinks he's going to win this court case. How deluded can you be? His challenge is the 6 of Cups, nostalgia, back when Trump had some influence and sway. So he's looking back for his consolation and why he thinks he'll win, when in fact the Yeti does not have that power to pardon him. Someone has to break the news. The Yeti isn't president anymore. So at the root of the issue, which is what he's facing, these are all the international dealings as well as, you know, the domestic stuff. This is a bigger picture. But at the same time, it's waiting for his ship to come in. He's waiting for the Yeti to rescue him. You wouldn't want to be in that boat, would you? So what's going on for him right now is having to juggle the fear and the anxiety that I am now an indicted criminal. Well, until proved guilty, he's just an indicted whatever. Having to juggle the reality with the non-reality. Good luck with that, pet. Deluded. He's evaluating, this is coming up, I'd say this next week, he's going to evaluate his position. But you know what? He's still deluded. Hope and inspiration. He's still got hope. The Yeti's going to rescue him. I mean, this is almost sad. Deluded. And at the end of next week, I would say, give or take a few days, he's going to have to come to the crushing realization he's on his own, and he will have to make the choice on his own how to proceed. That may be the turning point. He can either be the most valiant servant in the history of the modern world and take the rap and do the time, or not. Oh, my word. I didn't think he was that deluded. I thought he was just toughing it out and then we'll make a decision, but no. So, intrepid viewers, July 4th. Now, you live in a big country. It's hot. People are on edge. You've got way too many guns, you know. So just the sheer volume of instances, you've got to expect some volatility and even hostility to be out there. So please, my advice all the way from Australia, stay indoors, do a little Zoom party with family or friends or something. I really want you to stay safe. Please don't do anything big in public on July 4th. So my love also goes out to everyone who's affected by the fires. I grew up surrounded by bushfires, and I know how scary and destructive they can be. So you have all my love with that. Okay, so I'll be back in a moment. Ciao, ciao. And we managed to get through this whole video without any of the uncles walking through, so that's a miracle. We're going into serious football today here. I'll just say, we play real football in Australia, and that is with no padding and no helmets. I'll leave you with that thought. Bye for now. Ciao, ciao. Ciao, ciao, ciao.